many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
One out of every 4 car accidents every year is caused by texting and driving. The message of no texting and driving has been ingrained in us as drivers. We all know the laws, the regulations, and the consequences, both physical and legal, and yet a vast majority of drivers still use their phones while behind the wheel. A study by AT&T found that 98% of those who text every day and drive frequently say the practice is dangerous. Still, nearly 75% say they do it anyway. Additionally, texting and driving has been proven to be just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than drunk driving. Many of us couldn't imagine getting behind the wheel after drinking. However, this does not translate into the equally as dangerous behavior of texting and driving. The question becomes, why is there such a difference between what we believe and what we actually do? There are several explanations that begin to tackle this question. According to a study done at the University of Connecticut School of Medicine, receiving a notification on your phone causes your brain to release a small amount of dopamine. When this happens, it silences a part of the prefrontal cortex associated with judgment and reasoning. Additionally, reinforcement plays a large role. Every time we look at our phones behind the wheel and nothing happens, we inadvertently condition ourselves to think it's safe to do again. We tend to rationalize our driving behaviors because we think we are better drivers than everyone else and can manage distraction better. Convincing yourself that others' accidents happen because of things you would have had control over creates a sense of comfort, believing that if you can do those things better, you will escape the danger of the situation. Perhaps this is an example of how the overconfidence bias plays into the continued behavior of texting and driving. We believe the problem and its solution lie within the context of the expectancy theory, specifically between the EP link. Thus, our strategies to address and change the behavior of texting and driving will focus on 2 aspects of change within the EP link: education and facilitation.
Our first strategy was to implement an awareness initiative utilizing the consistency persuasion principle. People who participated in the survey were first asked how dangerous they considered texting and driving and if awareness should be spread. Once they answered, stating their opinion publicly, they were then asked if they would change their phone password to the initials NTAD to promote self and public awareness regarding the texting and driving issue. 70% of people backed up their word by agreeing to this proposal.
Our next strategy was to encourage people to change their phone screensaver to the picture that is shown on screen, which is a pledge to not text and drive. And we believe this would decrease texting and driving because it would serve as a constant visual reminder of this pledge whenever they looked at their phone. In order to be more effective in getting people to do this, we use the principle of social proof, in which we would first show these students who are similar to us that we had changed our phone screensavers to this pledge, and then ask them to follow our lead and do the same. And using this principle, we were able to get 100% of the people we asked to do this and change their phone screensaver. And an example of this is shown next. Hi Jenny, my BUSI 405 group has recently realized that texting and driving is a major cause for concern on campus. As a result, I've recently changed my phone background to this pledge where I pledge not to text and drive. Will you join me in this and change your phone background to also include this pledge?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Our third strategy was to possibly implement a visual reminder. To persuade drivers to put a "Don't Text and Drive" sticker on their dashboard, we employed the persuasion principle of authority and respect. This states that people are more likely to be persuaded when they think that someone is an expert. To convey our knowledge of the subject matter, we read the respondents' 2 alarming statistics as priming questions. We then asked them if, after hearing these statistics, they would consider putting a sticker on their dashboard. 9 of the 10 people that I asked said that they would put a "Don't Text and Drive" sticker on their dashboard. Here's one of them.
Did you know that 1 in 4 accidents are caused by texting and driving?
No.
Texting and driving adds 70 feet to your braking distance. That being said, would you consider putting a "Don't Text and Drive" sticker on your dashboard to stop accidents?
Yeah.
Lastly, we have our ideal strategy that we would implement if we had more time and resources, and that is a mobile application. Currently, most mobile applications either turn off your phone or lock your phone. However, this can easily be avoided by not downloading the app or saying that you're the passenger. So, we want to implement a strategy that actually changes the behavior through rewards and punishments. The app would monetarily reward you for not texting and driving and fine you for texting and driving, making it completely self-funded. Further, we want to include a message that pops up to slap you on the wrist while you're texting and driving, and include friends on the app to encourage social proof. During our research, we also studied the concept of perception by asking people if they feel uncomfortable while others are texting and driving, then asking them if they would use our application, testing the theory of consistency and the fact that people are generally harsher on others rather than themselves. We found that every person interviewed expressed that they would use the application if available.
Coming full circle, we compiled all of our research data to highlight the effectiveness of each strategy. When we did not use organizational behavior concepts and simply asked people to pledge their participation, we did not have a high success rate. 60% said no. When using organizational behavior concepts to prime and influence participants, we had a higher rate of people who pledged to use our strategies, which can be seen from the increase of 30% to 90%. Lastly, we showed a strong proof of concept for our mobile application with 100% pledging their participation.